Going the distance with local sports. Covering the Loretto Mustangs, Summertown Eagles, and Lawrence County Wildcats. Basketball, football, baseball, and more. This is the X Sports Network.
And welcome everybody here to Summertown High School, the site of this afternoon's Class 2A sub-state game between the homestanding Lady Eagles of Summertown and the visiting Westview Chargers. This is A.J. Good, joined alongside Adam Lindsay for this afternoon's contest. An early contest because Westview's graduation is tonight, even though they don't have any seniors that play regularly. However, they are wanting to get back in time, barring a third-inning thriller that frankly, none of us want to see happen going into this. Is Hannah Lindsay, the starting pitcher for Summertown. Again, we're starting early. We started 10 minutes early for the region championship, and we're starting early for the sub-state. It's 11:53 right now. First pitch from Lindsay, high and away for ball one. Leading off is the opposing pitcher here for the Chargers, and McCall Sims.
And this young lady is a really solid player, AJ. We played against her in travel ball. She's the real deal.
The 1-0 from Lindsay, chopped foul for strike one. Following McCall Sims will be the shortstop Piper Johnson, the right fielder Mary Chester, and the cleanup designated player Emma Barner. Lakin Rogers, the second baseman, batting fifth. Batting sixth at third base, Addie Roberts. The first baseman Alexis Evans, batting seventh. Batting eighth, Jilligan Brigance, the catcher. And rounding out the lineup is Anna Alley, the center fielder. Next pitch from Lindsay on the outside corner for strike two. 1-2 strike to the leadoff hitter here for the Chargers.
And at least the wind looks like it has calmed down a little bit, AJ. It's down to 15 mile an hour instead of 20.
Blowing straight out the left field. Here's a 1-2 in the dirt for ball two. Kind of has that, I know I talk a lot about Wrigley Field out here, but when the wind's blowing out like this, it feels like Wrigley Field. Just get it up in the jet stream and watch it happen.
Exactly.
Comes the 2-2 from Lindsay. Lined up the middle, that's going to be a base hit. So the leadoff hitter gets on here for Westview, and that will bring up the shortstop and Piper Johnson. Johnson, the right-handed hitter.
Lindsay kind of got that one elevated too, AJ. Got it up around the numbers, and against a hitter like Sims, you can't do that. She's got to be able to work down in the zone, especially with that wind today. You got to see how many ground balls you can get.
Here comes the first pitch here to the right-handed hitter, and that one's on the outside corner for strike one. Westview made the trip here yesterday, stayed in Columbia. Talking to their coaching staff, about a 3-hour drive to make it into the area. Their baseball team will be playing tonight against Loretto. Their 7 seniors will be missing their graduation. Next pitch lined up the middle, Lindsay.
Oh, my goodness.
Throws that one away. And now off the air, we got 2 on here in the top of the first inning. That will bring up the right fielder and Mary Chester. 2 on, no out. Lindsay going to have to work out of a jam here to keep the score where it is. Beautiful afternoon, few clouds, and as Adam mentioned, wind blowing very hard straight out the left. First pitch to Lindsay, it's a fake bunt and misses outside and away for ball one.
You know, and I noticed Coach Burleson was talking in an interview from the other day about how the errors cost them this, and here we are early. It's happened to him again.
It's the little things in a big game like this that shine bright. Here's the 1-0. That one's bunted down and hits her bat twice, so that will be a foul ball for strike one. Good job by the home plate umpire noticing that. I believe, is this a independent crew we got here? Not from around here, Adam? I don't recognize these guys.
Now Tony, who is the home plate umpire, he is from around here. I'm not sure where. I was actually told that he's retiring after this year, so this could possibly be his last softball game.
Next play bunted down, the throw over to first. That one's going to get away. A Charger run is going to come on down the score. They take a early 1-0 lead off back-to-back errors from Summertown. So runners on the corners now, no outs, a 1-0 Westview lead. Now the infield having a conference here for Summertown, trying to straighten some things out here as things have not exactly gone their way in the early part of this. Lady Chargers here with the runners on the corners. Westview came into this game at 16-5 overall, perfect within their district. Their head coach is Craig Roberts. First time these two have met up since 2007. First pitch here to Lindsay, and that one's going to hit the outside corner for strike one. Emma Barner, the designated player, due up now for the Lady Chargers. Lindsay ready on the rubber. Barner sets. And here comes the 0-1. That one misses away. The throw over to second. Abbott cuts it off, and now we got runners on second and third with no outs.
And AJ, this is the cleanup hitter. I happened to look through their stats a little bit on Max Preps. Barner's got a lot of power. She's well capable of putting one out of here.
Here's the 1-1, and chopped right back to Lindsay. She checks the runner at third. The throw over to first is in time, and that will be the first out of the inning. Good job by Hannah Lindsay checking the runner and throw over to the first in time. Kind of a lost start. I've seen a lot of baseball pitchers and a lot of softball pitchers mess that up this season. She did a good job, even though she was sort of slipping in the process. Lakin Rogers, the second baseman, due up now, the left-handed hitter. Swings and a miss on a first pitch.
And you know, if you're Lindsay, you've got to compartmentalize what's happened here. You know, you've had a hard hit single up the middle, and you've had a bunt and 2 routine ground balls. I mean, you have to make the basic plays. You know, get the bugs out right here. Get the bugs out. You've only given up a run. If you can get out here with 1, maybe 2, you know. Of course, a base hit here could very well score 2. But, you know, you're in good shape here. You've just got to calm down.
Here comes the 0-2 from Lindsay. Swung on and missed. 3 up, 3 straight strikes as they try a pickoff throw at third. That's not in time. That will be the second out of the inning. First strikeout of the game for Lindsay. 2 on and 2 out here in the top of the first. Westview leading this one 1-0. Brings up the third baseman and Addie Roberts, the right-handed hitter. Here's the first pitch, and that misses away for ball 1.
And you know, AJ, this team played a lot of game this year, but this is a young softball team. You know, you would like to hope they'd come in here with no nerves and play spotless softball, but that isn't always the case, you know.
Here's the 1-0, and that one's on the outside corner at the knees for strike 1.
You know, they've got to be able to manage through this, and they've done a good job of it. You've gotten back now to 2 outs. You're 2 strikes away from getting out of this while only surrendering a run.
Here's the 1-1, and that one's on the outside corner for strike 2. Lindsay working ahead, 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs here. 2 on in the top of the first. Lindsay trying to get out of the jam and limit the damage. Here comes the 1-2. Swung on and missed for strike 3. Back-to-back strikeouts from Hannah Lindsay. Westview leads it 1-2 after stranding a pair of runners. We head to the bottom half of the inning. First at bat for Summertown is coming up next on the X Sports Network.
Hit a home run with the team at United Country Southern Tennessee Realty.
On the web, 931-321-8226.
Tommy Johnson, 931-722-4840.
Tyler Webb, 731-438-2084.
Travis Caldwell's 931-629-3033.
You're safe with United Country Southern Tennessee Realty.
This is Lawrence County Sheriff John Myers. 3.5 years ago, you elected me to be your sheriff. In the past 3.5 years, my team and I have removed hundreds of thousands of dollars in drugs from the county's roads. We increased the presence of deputies in all of our communities across the county, and we've kept an eye on your tax dollars. Today, I'm asking for your vote to keep the progress going. We've made a big dent in crime, but we still have a lot of work to do. When you go to the polls this August, choose John Myers for sheriff, and let's keep Lawrence County America's best county to live in. Ad paid for John Myers for sheriff.
Back here at Summertown, we head to the bottom of the first. Westview leading the Lady Eagles 1-0. Eric Abbott, Meg Parrott, and Katie Beth Gallagher to lead things off here for the Lady Eagles. The face-off with the pitcher, McCall Sims. Westview took advantage of a pair of Lady Eagle errors in the top of the first to get that lone run. They had runners on second and third with no outs, but Hannah Lindsay got a ground ball and back-to-back strikeouts to get out of that jam. Now Summertown has a chance to answer it here in the bottom of the first. Beautiful afternoon. Wind, Adam, is blowing stiffly at times, anywhere from 15 to 20 miles an hour, but if you're a right-handed hitter and get one up in the jet stream today, you might be busting out some windows out in the field.
And you know, Abbott, who is also a good inside-out hitter, I was watching her in batting practice. She hit 1 or 2 out to the opposite field today, so she's leading us off, and I believe she's hit 3, maybe 4 home runs this year leading off the game, so squaring this up right here with one swing would be nice.
Abbott to lead things off, the left-handed hitter, first pitch, and that one's high for ball one. We saw McCall Sims got a lot of high-velocity pitches, and also, as we saw in warm-ups, can let a couple get away from her. Here's the 1-0. Swung on and missed for strike one. Speaking of some late life on that one, tailing away from Abbott.
It did. Great pitch.
Summertown wearing their home whites, Westview wearing their road blues. Here's the 1-1. Swung on and missed for strike two. Abbott steps back in. Here comes a 1-2 from McCall. Foul back off the net, and the count will stay where it is. Abbott here in a battle, trying to reach base in her first at bat.
And like you said, H.A., it's a lot of late movement. You know, she has a very smooth release, and it doesn't look like it's coming at the velocity it is, but it really is coming.
The last 10 feet, you can tell how hard she's really throwing it. Here's a 1-2. Misses high, and that one hits our microphone behind home plate. It's almost like, you know, when they dunk it or they hit the rim in the NCAA tournament. That's what it sounded like there.
Definitely.
Count evens up, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Here comes a 2-2 from McCall. Abbott swings and misses and for strike 3, and that will be the first out of the inning. Meg Parrott, the center fielder, due up now for the Lady Eagles. Speaking of going deep, Parrott did that against Loretto in their region final here on Wednesday. Took advantage of the wind that was blowing pretty hard out the left and put it over the fence in left center field. The right-handed hitting center fielder steps in, and the first pitch from Sims. Misses high for ball one.
And, you know, Summertown's got to be patient with these balls up in the zone. It's a nice little rise ball that's moving. They've got to be patient, let the ball make her have to throw fastballs where you can get down and drive the softball.
Here's the 1-0. And that misses high and away for ball two. Looks like Parrott hasn't been fooled so far from any of those. I can see where it's tempting, where they can rise up like that.
Definitely. It's a tough pitch to have to make a decision on.
Here's the 2-0. And misses away for ball three. Count in Parrott's favor. 3 balls, no strikes. 1 out here in the bottom of the first.
I think Westview's aware of the wind, too. The right fielder's in normal depth, center fielder's about normal, and the left fielder is almost against the fence.
Parrott works a 4-pitch walk that brings up the catcher, and Katie Beth Gallagher's got 1 on, 1 out. Here in the bottom of the first, Westview leading Summertown 1-0. So McCall Sims with a walk and a strikeout to start things off. Gallagher, the right-handed hitter, steps in. Sims on the rubber, comes the first pitch. Swung on and missed for strike 1. Greg Burleson giving out the signs, the head coach for Summertown over in the third base box. Sims gets a sign, tells her head coach to give him again. And here comes the 0-1. Hit hard, but down the right field line and foul, and the count goes in Sims' favor. No balls and 2 strikes. Sun coming in and out of the clouds here on this beautiful wind-swept afternoon in Summertown. And here comes the 0-2. This one's lined up the middle. That's a base hit. Parrott's going to stop at second. Katie Beth Gallagher with a 2-strike hit. And we got 2 on, 1 out here in the bottom of the first. It's going to bring up the pitcher in Hannah Lindsay, trying to help her own cause here. For her first at bat, she got out of that jam, limiting the damage in the top of the first, and now has a chance to tie things up. Lindsay, the right-handed hitter, steps in, and here comes the first pitch from Sims. That one's low and away for ball 1. Summertown, the defending Class 1A state champions, making the move up to Class 2A. Sims readies, and the 1-0. And that misses low for ball 2.
I know Sims is doing a great job here. You realize when you get to 3 and 4 with the wind, right? You know, keep it down. You know, she's thrown the 2 lowest pitches she's thrown the last 2 here, so she understands the situation for sure.
And the 2-0, that one's going to get away. The runners are going to advance off the wild pitch. And now we got runners both in scoring position to go ahead and run standing on second base.
The question here, AJ, and I don't know if you do this, it is early in the game, but you have a 3-0 count, your cleanup hitter's up. You wonder if she may want to look at a strike here. Second and third, does he give her the green light? It doesn't matter. She's going to walk her.
That is another 4-pitch walk, the second issued by McCall Sims. That's going to bring up the left fielder and the left-handed hitting, Mackenzie Reynolds. Summertown trying to get into the state tournament for their 8th time overall. Westview trying to get in for their 5th time overall. And Westview trying to make it to Murfreesboro for the first time since 2010. Now the head coach here for the Lady Chargers and Craig Rogers out to talk with his entire infield. We got a bases loaded, 1 out situation here. Summertown trying to answer what Westview did in the top of the 1st inning.
AJ, I heard you got a busy day today.
I do. I am praying that we don't have a 20-inning epic thriller so I can go out and do Loretto's softball game in Huntington, about a less than 2-hour drive, but, you know, growing man's got to eat at some point.
Exactly, I agree.
Hoping for a good, entertaining, but however quick game. First pitch from Sims and Reynolds, fouled back for strike 1.
Well, you're going to get to see a lot of the beautiful countryside of Tennessee today, at least. You're going to be traveling some. So.
And then we're celebrating my wife's 33rd birthday in Knoxville this weekend, so I'm driving from Huntington to Knoxville. Here's the 0-1. Swung on and missed for strike 2. No balls and 2 strikes to Reynolds. Bases loaded, 1 out here. Shelby Davis, the third baseman, waiting on deck for the Lady Eagles. Sims gets the sign, and here comes the 0-2. Foul back and scared all the student section down the left field line. The count will stay where it is.
And Mackenzie's got to shorten her swing up just a little bit. She's got to get that load a little bit shorter to get the bat head out. She's been late on a lot of these pitches.
Here's the 0-2. Chopped right in front of the home plate. And Parrott is going to score. No throw from the third baseman, and Summertown off of the infield single ties the game up at 1.
You could not have rolled a bunt out there yourself, AJ, and put it in a better spot than that.
That is, I mean, that ball just took one big hop and just died right in front of the third baseman. I thought that might have tailed over towards foul territory. It
The
just died
third
right
baseman
there.
did a great job getting to it. She had no play either way.
Shelby Davis due up. The first pitch from Sims in the dirt for ball 1. Good job there from the catcher, Jelligan Brigance, making the scoop there to make sure the go-ahead run stays at third base.
If you're Summertown, you've got to be ready for a possibility of a pass ball. There's already been one. You've got speed on third.
The 1-0, and that one's on the inside corner for strike 1. Great crowd here. Student section's shown up here for the Lady Eagles, and Westview, despite the 3-hour drive, has shown up in full force. Their fans have shown out in a big way today, and they are very appreciative, a good fan base. Here's the 1-1. That one misses away. Coming home is Gallagher. She will score, and Summertown going to take a lead here. They lead it 2-1. So the wild pitch is going to give Summertown a 2-1 lead. All of the runners will advance, and the count is now at 2 balls and 1 strike.
That ball actually went behind the batter, I believe, AJ. Looks like Sims is getting a little flustered, for sure.
2-1's the Summertown lead. Here's the 2-1. Davis puts the bunt down. Sims tags out. No, says she didn't tag her. Lindsay is going to score, and Summertown leads at 3-1. I could have swore she tagged her, to be honest with you. I thought she tagged her. And now the head coach here for Westview and Craig Rogers is going to go out and have a discussion with the home plate umpire. It certainly looked like she tagged her. But, you know, we have a different view than what he has.
Yeah, it looked like a tag to me, AJ. It looked like she did tag her.
So that's a
definitely did to me as well.
But it works out in Summertown's favor. They lead at 3-1. It's a good slide from Lindsay. Looks like she got down at just about the right time.
You know, the bunt was fine. It wasn't pushed far enough away from home plate. You know, you got to get it away from home plate.
Anna Burleson now up now. Takes the first pitch on the outside corner for strike 1. Runners on the corners, 1 out. After Westview got 1 in the top of the first, Summertown has answered with 3 here in the bottom half of the inning.
You know, and Burleson needs to be aggressive here. You've got them down.
And Burleson lays down the bunt right at the third baseman.
She's safe.
And she doesn't make the tag.
Miss that
she
tag
scores. And Summertown leads this one 4-1.
Now, I will say this. The first bunt that I believe Hannah Lindsay, I believe she was tagged on the shoulder. That lady coming down the line was not tagged. She actually did beat that one. So the first one was definitely questionable. I thought the tag was made on Lindsay at home plate. But that one, Burleson's come out doing what he does, small balling.
Reagan Burleson, the second baseman, due up, swings and misses on the first pitch for strike 1. A lot of bunts, swinging bunts.
Yeah.
And Summertown has put a 4 spot here in the bottom of the first. Here's the 0-1. Hits the outside corner for strike 2. Sims ahead quickly here on the 8-hole hitter for the Lady Eagles. In Reagan Burleson.
Burleson, a very good fastball hitter, and she hits decent pitching well. You know, the more velocity, the better.
Here's the 0-2.
She's
Swung on and
gonna
missed
go
for
down,
strike 3. Second strikeout of the inning for McCall Sims, and that will be the second out. Now bring up the right fielder, the 9-hole hitter, in Caitlin Gillum. Summertown has officially hit everyone in the order here in the bottom of the first inning. First pitch from Sims, and that one's in there for strike 1.
McCall's doing a much better job now at getting ahead. You know, she had a little bit of streak there where she was getting wild, you know, but she seemed to calm down now.
The 0-1, and Gillum couldn't check her swing there, and that will be strike 2. No balls, 2 strikes here. 2 on, 2 out. Sims on the rubber. Here comes the 0-2. Foul back, and the count will stay where it is. It's kind of hard to call some of those when you see them right in front of the plate, and you got the third baseman and the pitcher trying to make a tag. And
definitely.
We don't always have the best angles sometimes.
Yeah.
Sims now getting the sign from the dugout, and here comes the 0-2. Fouled up, and the catcher Briggins makes the catch, and that will end the inning. But not before Summertown answers with 4 runs in the bottom of the first. They lead at 4-1 as we head to the top of the second here on the X Sports Network.
Make 2022 the year to refresh your home. And who you gonna call to help? Story and Lee, the Tennessee Valley's largest furniture store. We've stocked our 3 acres of showroom and warehouses full of inventory. And gotta make room for more arriving daily. Living rooms, dining rooms, bedrooms, all from the brands you've told us you love. And it's all ready to be delivered to your home absolutely free. Just try that anywhere else. We are Story and Lee.
No matter what it is that you like, take those things, translate it into an academic degree.
It's the best thing probably I've ever done in my life, and my only regret is that I didn't do it sooner.
Getting this degree opened up doors that I didn't.
And back here at Summertown, we head to the top of the second of this Class 2A sub-state game. Summertown leading the visiting Lady Chargers of Westview 4-1. 7-8-9 due up here for Westview. Alexis Evans, the first baseman, to lead things off, followed by the catcher, Jilligan Briggins, and the center fielder, Anna Alley. Hannah Lindsay, in her first inning of work, gave up a run off a hit, 2 strikeouts through 20 pitches. Got out of a 2-on, no-out jam. Facing off with the right-handed hitting Evans for the first time. Here's the first pitch, and on the outside corner for strike 1.
And you know, something you don't see very often, AJ, Summertown scores 4 runs in the bottom of the first, and I don't think a ball reached the outfield grass. No. Correct?
No, Gallagher single.
That's correct, single up the middle, but that was it.
Yeah.
Everything else was done with small ball, some fortunate swinging bunts, right?
Yeah, and some fortunate missed tags.
Yeah.
1-1 now to Evans. Here's the 1-1. And misses away for ball 2. Hannah Lindsay, who picked up the win against Summertown. Back-to-back wins against Loretto in the district championship and the region championship. And this one is grounded over to Abbott at short. The throw over to first in time, and that will be the first out of the inning. 1 gone. Brings up the catcher, and Jillian Briggins.
You know, I always hated the wind. You know, it's tough enough playing when you're a pitcher with it blowing out, but throwing the ball into it, AJ, was always tough on me. You know, I didn't have a lot of velocity when I played either, so the wind blowing at me was always trouble.
And the first pitch from Lindsay misses away for ball 1.
Especially if you're looking to throw a changeup or maybe something off speed. It's like it holds everything up. The changeup won't turn over. It causes a lot of problems.
Comes the 1-0 from Lindsay. And that one's in there for strike 1. I was not a fan of it as an outfielder in college because you get them, depending on which field you played in, the wind could just wreak havoc on you out there. Here's a 1-1. And the ball's in the dirt for ball 2, especially someone like me that struggles with depth perception because without my contacts, I'm legally blind.
Well, you sound like me, AJ.
Yeah, it was a circus out there. I made some catches, but not many. Here's the 2-1. This is grounded over to Abbott. Abbott bobbles it. The throw over to first is not in time. The third error of the game for Summertown, and we got one on and one out here in the top of the second inning. And Allie, the center fielder, due up now for the Lady Chargers.
And the third error, I believe the third or fourth error for Abbott in the last 2 games, too, which hurts because she's probably been your most consistent defensive player for the entire year.
And, it's shortstop, where you're going to have the majority of your ground balls hit there between. Yeah. So we get looks like we got a courtesy runner coming into the game now for Westview. It's the first pitch from Lindsay. Misses high for ball 1. The courtesy runner, Hayden Swain, came in for Brigance, the catcher. Lindsay back on the rubber. Here comes a 1-0. Foul back for strike 1.
And if you're Lindsay, you really want to try to get this out here. You definitely don't want our leadoff batter coming to the plate with 2 on. She's got a lot of power, a lot of pop, so this is a big out for Lindsay.
Here's the 1-1. Swung on and missed on the changeup for strike 2, especially since McCall Sims hit a very hard ball right up the middle in her first at bat for a single.
Yeah, she's had a couple home runs this year. She's a really good player.
Lindsay readies. Here comes the 1-2. Lined right at Abbott. It's set short, and that will be the second out of the inning.
But I tell you too, AJ, I've heard from talking to other people and seen some things too. Been following her a little bit. She might be a better basketball player than she is a softball player.
They made it to the state tournament.
Well, I think they won it this year or last.
Yeah, they did. Sure did.
So yeah, she's just a great athlete.
First pitch from Lindsay. Changeup misses away for ball 1. Westview, who was unfortunate in basketball this year. 4 of the top 5 teams in the state met up with each other in sub-state, Summertown and Gibson County, and then Loretto and Westview. Next pitch on the outside corner for strike 1. Westview, who, as you mentioned, won in Class 2A in high school girls basketball, and their football team won the state championship this past year as well. Here's the 1-1. This one is lined in the left field. That's going to be a base hit, her second of the game. 2 on, 2 out here. In the top of the second inning, brings up the shortstop, Piper Johnson. Reached on an error in her first at bat.
And I'm going to tell you, AJ, I know Summertown spent a lot of the year playing Loretto 6 times, and you had to be so careful. We talked about a lot with Dover, what a great hitter she is.
I'm not base 4 times the other night.
I don't know if you just don't treat this kid the same way, because she's just as talented. She's a talent, but.
First pitch from Lindsay on the outside corner for strike 1.
I think you pitch her off the plate, away, and if she reaches out and wants to hit something, that's fine, but you just can't give her that.
Make her beat you throwing your best pitches.
Yes, sir.
Here comes the 0-1 from Lindsay. Misses away for ball 1. 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 on. Runners on first and second here for the Lady Chargers. Summertown leading this one 4-1, the top of the second. Westview trying to score in back-to-back innings. Here's the 1-1. This one is lined down the right field line, but over into the Westview bullpen for strike 2. She got good contact on that one, and
she did.
Just couldn't keep it fair. Lindsay ahead in the count, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Sitting right now at 38 pitches here through an inning and 2/3. Here comes the 1-2. This is high for ball 2. Count evens up at 2 balls and 2 strikes.
And I got a feeling as long as Lindsay's effective and, keeping the runs to a minimum, Coach Burleson might throw her arm off today.
Here's the 2-2. Chop back and foul, and the count will stay where it is. Outside of Sims, no one has really squared up Lindsay so far the first time through the order. Sims hit her hard to center in the first and a liner into left in previous at bat. Comes the 2-2 from Lindsay. Hit hard in the right field. That one's tailing foul, and it is, and the count will stay where it is at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Wind blowing very hard now in the left field. You can tell from the trees in the background just how hard it's blowing.
Lindsay's been working away here. You wonder if it's about time to come on the inside corner with maybe a screwball to get in on her hands or something.
Comes the 2-2. That one just misses away, and the count goes full with 3 balls and 2 strikes. Lindsay steps out of the circle, takes a couple deep breaths, now gets back in, gets the sign from her catcher in Gallagher. And here comes the 8th pitch of the at-bat. Fouled back, and the count will stay full. Good battle here between Johnson and Lindsay. 2 very talented teams. meeting up with a chance to go to Murfreesboro next week. Lindsay back on the rubber. And here comes another full count offering. This is high for ball 4, and the bases are loaded with 2 outs. Mary Chester, the right fielder, due up now, reached on an error in the first inning. That error brought home the first run of the game for the Lady Chargers.
This is another young lady, AJ, with a lot of pop. Looked at some of their stats, home run stats for the year, and she's a kid that can unload on the softball, so you got to be careful.
First pitch, and it's on the outside corner for strike 1.
You know, when Lindsay's got to realize you've got to go after that kid without loading them up for this young lady. I mean, you've got the go-ahead run right here at the plate.
Comes the 0-1. And on the outside corner at the belt for strike 2. 2 good pitches there right on the edge, and she's worked ahead at no balls and 2 strikes. It's a 3-hole hitter here in Mary Chester, and the 0-2. Swung on and missed for strike 3. Lindsay strands the bases loaded in the top of the second inning. Lady Eagles lead at 4-1. We head to the bottom half coming up next on the X Sports Network.
Since 1986, Southeast Carriers, Inc. has been a family-owned and operated business in Lawrenceburg, Tennessee. We strive to have updated equipment and technology to make our drivers' job easier. We offer large company pay and benefits with a small company atmosphere. Are you tired of just being a number when you call your current company? Here you will be known on a first-name basis, and all we ask is for you to give us an opportunity to prove that we are different than most trucking companies. For more information, visit southeastcarriers.com.
Being raised in Tennessee, we believe in the importance of family and community. Creating a positive experience at our family-owned and operated business is one of the ways we share that belief.
Being in an accident can be extremely stressful. When it came time for my repairs, Mashburn's made it easy.
I am lucky to have a wonderful company in my community like Mashburn's Collision Center. It's reassuring to know that I'm in good hands because their work is second to none.
We pride ourselves that the Mashburn name is one of the most trusted in Lawrence County since 1981. Mashburn's Collision Center.
And back here at Summertown, we head to the bottom of the second. Lady Eagles leading this one 4-1. Top of the order. Due up here for Summertown. Erica Abbott to lead things off. Struck out swinging in her first at bat. McCall Sims on for her second inning of work. In that first inning, gave up 4 runs off 2 hits, 2 walks, 2 strikeouts through 34 pitches. Wind blowing straight out the left as we set off air, Adam, that Summertown is going to need a lot of run support with a hard-hitting Westview lineup and mainly a right-handed hitting lineup with the wind blowing the left. First pitch to Abbott, and that one's in there for strike 1.
Well, and, you know, with like you said, with the combination of their quality lineup they've gotten to win, you cannot be content with a 4-run lead. That is fool's gold if you think that might win this game, I think.
And Abbott's able to lay off the high one for ball 1.
And if I know Coach Burleson, he's not one to like to come off the gas pedal ever. So he knows they need the run. So
here comes a 1-1 from Sims. And foul back for strike 2. It's like it's got a big red target or mic behind home plate here. It's been hit a few times. It's still alive, thankfully.
Yeah.
1 ball, 2 strikes here to the shortstop for the Lady Eagles. One of 3 left-handed hitters in the lineup. This one is lined into the net, into the stands, and the count will stay where it is. Getting a great crowd turnout here. The student section out in full force for Summertown, and Westview brought a great contingent as well on this 3-hour drive here to Lawrence County. Here's the 1-2. Swung on and missed for strike 3. Sims has got 3 strikeouts in the game. It's going to bring up the center fielder in Meg Parrott, who drew a 4-pitch walk and scored a run in the bottom of the first inning.
You know, Abbott swung at some pitches against that last game in Loretto that were not typical of her. And right now, you know, she's batted twice with 2 strikeouts. Sims seems to, I'm sure they watched plenty of tape on this young lady. And
first pitch to Parrott, misses away for ball 1.
And, you know, the two times that they've been able to get Abbott, I've been on pitches up in the zone, you know, so.
Especially when you're in that moving forward formation, you see that ball rise, hard to lay off. Here's a 1-0, misses away for ball 2. 2 balls, no strikes here to the 2-0 hitter for the Lady Eagles and Parrott. Right-handed hitter steps in, and here comes a 2-0 from Sims. And she swings and misses on a rise ball out of the zone. 2 balls, 1 strike. Parrott back in. Here comes a 2-1 from Sims. Hit high in the air, but out of play.
You know, in Summertown right now, they're not swinging at a lot of strikes. I mean, the balls that they're swinging at are out of the zone. They seem to be taking the fastballs down for strikes and then getting behind and then having to fight that rise ball off, and that's not a good situation to be in.
2-2 from Sims, and swing and a miss for strike 3, and that will be the second out of the inning. 4th strikeout of the game for Sims. Brings up the catcher, Katie Beth Gallagher. Singled up the middle, scored a run in the bottom of the first. The only ball for Summertown that's reached the outfield so far in this game, despite them leading 4-1. Here's the first pitch from Sims Gallagher, and hit off the end of the bat down the left field line, just out of the reach of the shortstop and Piper Johnson. A great effort, but just could not come up with it. It's good to see effort like that. You know, a ball that stays in foul territory when you don't have a lot of foul territory in most of these softball ballparks. It takes a good effort like that to, especially when you got the 3-hole hitter up, to save your pitcher a few pitches in a game like this. Gallagher back in the box. Here's the 0-1 from Sims. Swung on and missed for strike 2. No balls, 2 strikes to the 3-hole hitter with 2 outs. Gallagher steps back in. Sims gets the signal from her head coach in the dugout. Here's the 0-2. Misses away for ball 1.
Summertown has to shorten their swings up, AJ. They've got to limit the amount of load and get the bat head out a little quicker. They're late on a lot of pitches right now.
Here's a 1-2, and this one's going to be lined in the left field. That's a base hit. Gallagher 2 for 2. She's going to take off for second. She is in there, takes advantage of the defense out in left center. That's a 2-out double. Runner in scoring position here for Summertown. Brings up the cleanup hitter and Hannah Lindsay.
The outfield really went after that softball with really, it seemed like no desperation at all. I mean, and they get to it late, and you know, this Summertown team's aggressive, and that's a great piece of base running by Gallagher, getting into scoring position with your cleanup up here now with Lindsay.
Lindsay, who walked and scored a run in the bottom of the first. First pitch swung on and missed for strike 1. Gallagher very aggressive. She turned, and there was no doubt in her mind she was taking off for second base. 2-out double, no balls, 1 strike to the cleanup hitter. Here's the 0-1. Misses away for ball 1.
Lindsay does a really good job typically with driving the ball to the right side, you know, going opposite field here. If you get a pitch here, you can't try to pull it. You've got to go with it.
Here's a 1-1. This one is chopped in between third and short. That one's off the glove of the shortstop. She can't make the play. Infield single for Hannah Lindsay, and we got runners on the corners here with 2 outs. Bring up the left fielder, Mackenzie Reynolds. Reynolds, who hit a infield single that you couldn't have placed a bunt any better, that scored the first run of the game for Summertown.
No, and they've got her up in bunt coverage now since, I don't see her doing that here with 2 outs, but that's what they think anyway.
Big swing, foul back for strike 1. Lindsay on first, Gallagher on third. Reynolds a 5-hole hitter, one of 3 left-handed hitters here in the Lady Eagle lineup. No balls, 1 strike, 2 outs here in the bottom of the second inning. And the 0-1. Misses low and away for ball 1, and Lindsay's going to take off for second easily. And now we got runners on second and third. Base hit here from Reynolds. More than likely scores 2 in this situation.
It will score 2, AJ. This is a big at-bat right here.
Comes a 1-1 from Sims. Hit hard down the left field line and foul, and the count will go to no balls and 2 strikes. Reynolds with some good contact on that one and couldn't keep it fair. Greg Burleson, the head coach, having a discussion with his dugout right now as Reynolds steps back in. Here comes a 1-2. Foul back on the rise ball, and the count will stay where it is. Good battle here between Sims and Reynolds. Reynolds right now at 55 pitches here through an inning and 2/3. It's a sign from the dugout, back on the rubber. And the 1-2. Fouled again, out of play onto the road.
And, you know, the key to a rise ball pitcher, too, that helps you a ton, AJ, is being able to keep your hands high. You know, if you drop those hands where you have that uppercut swing, you're not going to hit the ball against a kid with good velocity that's throwing a rise ball. Reynolds does a good job of keeping her hands high.
1-2. Chop down the left field line, and the count will stay where it is.
And it also helps her to be quick enough too. You know, she's quick enough to get the ball down too. So you know, it helps her. Kid with high hands has a lot better shot at being effective against a rise ball pitcher.
Good battle here between Runnels and Sims. That was the 6th pitch of the at-bat. Here comes another 1-2. Hit hard down the left field line. Left fielder with a great catch in foul territory, and that will be the 3rd out of the inning. Lady Eagles strand a pair in the bottom of the 2nd. We head to the top of the 3rd. Summertown leading 4-1 here on the X Sports Network.
It's time for some straight talk about zero-turn mowers. Husqvarna's zero-turn performance mowers with rugged commercial drive give you high performance and a comfortable ride. Heavy-duty frame and chassis and commercial hydraulics take no punishment. With warranties now up to 5 years and low financing options, there's no competition. For a straight-up deal on the best in professional zero-turn mowers, go straight to your Husqvarna dealer.
McMaster's Home Gallery, where you'll always get a special price every day. Shop their new showroom full of name-brand furniture, sofas, recliners, dining and bedroom suites, Serta bedding, lots of tables and chairs just to match your decor. McMaster's Home Gallery also has GE appliances. Stop by on Highway 43 in Loretto or call 853-6140.
Back here at Summertown, we head to the top of the 3rd inning. Lady Eagles leading the Lady Chargers of Westview in this Class 2A sub-state game. 4-5-6 due up now for Westview. Emma Barner, the designated player, lead things off. Tap one back to Hannah Lindsay, the pitcher, in her first at bat. Lindsay on for her 3rd inning of work, has given up a run off a pair of hits, a walk, 3 strikeouts, sitting right now at 47 pitches. Trying to get through this inning, 1-2-3, something nobody from either pitcher has done through the first 2 innings. First pitch on the outside corner for strike 1. Westview made the 3-hour trip over here. Stayed in Columbia last night. Here's the 0-1.
Nice
Chopped
change
over to Davis at 3rd, but foul, and the count will go to no balls and 2 strikes.
That's one of the best changeups Lindsay's thrown in a few games. That looked really good. Got her bat head out front. Now you've got her down 0-2.
Cleanup hitter is Barner, the designated player. Here comes the 0-2 from Lindsay. Misses away for ball 1. 1 ball, 2 strikes here. Right-handed hitting, designated player. And here comes a 1-2 from Lindsay. Changeup misses low for ball 2.
You really got to like that location too, AJ. It's always said if you're going to miss down. That was a nice pitch.
That was not far from being a strike. Here's the 2-2. Misses just high, and the count goes full at 3 balls and 2 strikes. Lindsay grabs some dirt, gets on the rubber, and here comes the 3-2. On the outside corner for strike 3, and Lindsay gets the first batter looking. That is her 4th strikeout.
And that was a great location of a pitch. It was a borderline pitch, but it's a ball you can't take with a full count. She'd already taken 2 really close changeups, so that was a close call for sure, but nice pitch.
Lakin Rogers, a left-hand hitting second baseman, due up now. Sends a ground ball over to Abbott at short. The throw over to first is in time. A great play by Abbott to range over, make the throw. And 1 pitch, 1 out. We got 2 gone here in the top of the 3rd inning. Brings up the 3rd baseman and Addie Roberts. Roberts, who struck out swinging in her first at bat in the bottom of the 1st. That one ended that inning. Excuse me, the top of the 1st. I get my bottoms and my tops mixed up. She's so many games, you get a little confused. Comes the first pitch from Lindsay. This one's chopped right back to Lindsay. 1 pitch, 1 out. 3 up, 3 down in the top of the 3rd inning. Summertown will bat here in the bottom of the 3rd, leading 4-1. That's coming up next here on the X Sports Network.
McMaster's Home Gallery, where you'll always get a special price every day. Shop their new showroom full of name-brand furniture, sofas, recliners, dining and bedroom suites, Serta bedding, lots of tables and chairs just to match your decor. McMaster's Home Gallery also has GE appliances. Stop by on Highway 43 in Loretto or call 853-6140.
Got a dent, a ding, a scratch, or a bent fender? Major or minor, Car Country Collision Center in Leoma can fix you up. Car Country works with all insurance carriers, gives free estimates, can work on foreign and domestic vehicles, and has experience you can trust. They've been in business since 1990. Unfortunately, accidents happen, but you can get your car back on the road with as little hassle as possible with the help of Car Country. Call 931-852-4708 or stop by at 2567 Highway 43 South in Leoma.
Back here at Summertown, we head to the bottom of the third. Lady Eagles leading the Lady Chargers of Westview in this Class 2A sub-state game, 4-1. You've got 6-7-8 due up here for Summertown. Shelby Davis to lead things off. Reaching on a fielder's choice, that scored a run in the bottom of the first inning. On for her second at bat against McCall Sims. It's on for her third inning of work. Has given up 4 runs off 4 hits, a pair of walks, 4 strikeouts right now through 58 pitches. So I just got hit in the back of the head by a condiment lid. That's how hard the wind is blowing here. Wind blowing very hard out the left. Here's the first pitch from Sims to Davis. And that one is in there for strike 1.
And so, you know, Summertown they're taking some first pitch strikes. I mean, that are fastballs that are good pitches to hit. Well, now you get behind and you're having to fight these rise balls.
Here's the 0-1 and fouled straight back. And the count will go to no balls and 2 strikes. Davis going to have to battle from behind to reach base. Sims readies. Here's the 0-2. That rise ball you talk about misses high for ball 1. That thing just looks like it's like it's a roller coaster. It's like it's going up the hill.
It is.
Here's the 1-2. Another rise ball. Davis gets some wood on it and fouls this towards the Westview dugout. The first baseman can't make the play, and the count will stay where it is, and 1 ball and 2 strikes. Davis back in the box, and here comes the 1-2. This one's lined into right field. That one's going to get down for a base hit. A leadoff single here from Shelby Davis brings up the first baseman, the left-handed hitter, in Anna Burleson.
I really think you're going to be looking bunt here, AJ. Anna's a really good bunter. She's actually got deceptive speed for a pretty good, you know, a tall kid. She can run. She's actually beat some out this year just with basic sacrifices.
Speaking of, she reached on a bunt that scored a run in the bottom of the first. First pitch from Sims, and that misses low and away for ball 1. It's a good effort out and right there from Mary Chester, but when you got a sinking liner like that, it's even the best guys you see at the big leagues have trouble making that play.
Yep, it was a tough play. She made a good effort on it.
1-0 to Burleson, swung on and missed for strike 1. Burleson, one of 3 left-handers in this Summertown lineup. Left-handed hitters in any high school lineup at any level in any sport is pretty rare. Here's the 1-1, swung on and missed for strike 2.
All of these hitters are late right now, AJ. Every one of them. They've either got to shorten up swing or they've got to get back in the box, but they've got to make an adjustment.
Burleson steps back in. Here's the 1-2. Swung on and missed for strike 3, and that will be the first out of the inning. That will bring up Reagan Burleson, the second baseman. Reagan, who struck out swinging her first at bat in the bottom of the first, is up with 1 on and 1 out. Team leading 4-1 in the bottom of the third. First pitch from Sims. Misses away for ball 1. Sims, who's now got 5 strikeouts in the game. Those 2 walks she issued came back to haunt her in the bottom of the first. So far, Summertown with 5 hits. Next pitch misses away for ball 2. It's really bright. It's kind of hard for me to read. 5 hits. Got 4 runs off 5 hits, 3 errors. Westview 1 run off 2 hits. Both of those hits have come from the pitcher in the circle, McCall Sims. The 2-0 swung on and missed for strike 1. Sims is what we call effectively wild. She'll throw a bunch way out of the zone, and when she comes in the zone with that electricity she throws, it's kind of hard to handle.
Ball has a lot of movement, AJ.
2-1, swung on and missed for strike 2. Caitlin Gillum, the right fielder, waiting on deck. 2 balls, 2 strikes to the 8-0 hitter for the Lady Eagles. Sims readies the 2-2. Swung on and missed for strike 3. Back-to-back strikeouts from Sims. She's got 6 in the game. 2 outs here in the bottom of the third brings up the right fielder and the 9-hole hitter, and Caitlin Gillum. Gillum, who popped up to the catcher in Brigance in her first at bat. And the first pitch from Sims. Swung on a miss for strike one.
Sims is throwing middle out off the plate. Yeah, probably it looks like possibly a curveball, maybe a little drop, and Summertown cannot lay off. And in addition to it, they're also late.
Here's the 0-1. Foul back for strike two. And one thing I just noticed, Adam, look where the center fielder is playing. She is in the right center field gap, and there is a massive hole in between left and center.
They're doing a great job because with that wind blowing out to left, you throw everything off the plate, force these right-handers to have to hit it into the wind.
This one is popped up. The first baseman, good job there fighting through the wind is Alexis Evans to make the catch, and that will end the inning. Lady Eagles strand one in the bottom of the third. They lead it 4-1 as we come up next here on the X Sports Network.
Hey, this is Phil Hooper. Get the look you want for your favorite school, church, or business with apparel from HD Ink Screen Printing in Leoma, Tennessee. Got a logo you need embroidered or screen printed? Let HD Ink give you the professional look that sets the bar in today's world. We do fundraisers and custom designed apparel and so much more. Call today, 931-201-2961, or come see us at our new shop located at 26 Ingram Road in Leoma. Remember, HD Ink for the look you want and the look you deserve.
And back here at Summertown, we head to the top of the fourth. Lady Eagles leading Westview in this Class 2A sub-state game 4-1. All 5 of the runs total between the two were scored in the first inning. Westview with 1 in the top of the first, and Summertown got 4 the bottom half of the inning. 7-8-9 due up now for the Lady Chargers. Alexis Evans, the first baseman, who made the catch for the final out in the bottom of the third. She grounded out the Abbott at short in her first at bat in the second. Westview trying to make their 5th overall state tournament appearance, their first since 2010. Summertown trying to make it to Murfreesboro for the 8th time in school history. They are the defending Class 1A state champions despite now being in Class 2A. Wind blowing really hard out the left. First pitch from Lindsay. That one hits the outside corner for strike one. Wind blowing so hard that the condiments are flying around me here, and Adam Lindsay's chair just flew right into our setup. Here's the 0-1. Changeup misses away for ball one. Count evens up 1-1 strike to the leadoff hitter in the inning, and Alexis Evans, a right-handed hitting first baseman. Here's the 1-1. This one's hit hard, and that one's in there down the right field line. Evans takes off for second, and she is in there with a leadoff double. That ball hit off the end of the bat, just perfectly placed just inside the fair line, and a runner on second base. That will bring up the catcher in Jillian Brigance. She reached on an error in the second inning. On for her second at bat, trying to reach base here for the second time today. Team trailing 4-1 this Class 2A sub-state game. It's the first pitch from Lindsay. This one is a single in the left. Evans, she's going to hold up at third. She was originally being told to come home, but she didn't get a good jump, and now we got runners on the corners with no outs here in the top of the fourth inning. Brings up the 9-hole hitter, the center fielder, in Alley. Hit a soft liner over to Erica Abbott at short in her first at bat, and now head coach for Summertown, Greg Burleson, coming out to talk with his infield to settle down as pitcher as well, making sure they limit the damage here and keep the lead in the top of the fourth inning. First meeting between these two since 2007. Westview, a lot of tradition. Same with Summertown. Summertown has been very good in basically anything when it comes to girls' sports, from volleyball to softball to basketball. Westview pretty good as well. They won Class 2A in girls' basketball this year. Football team won a state championship as well. So athletic tradition very deep over there at Westview. Man, to make the 3-hour trip over here to Lawrence County today. Meetings adjourned. Runners on the corners now, no outs. Here to the center fielder, Alley. The bunt laid down to Lindsay. Lindsay checks the runner, throws it over to first, and it is not in time. So Alley reaches on the fielder's choice, and now the bases are loaded with no outs here, and that will bring up the pitcher, McCall Sims, who's 2 for 2 with a pair of singles. One of them the center field and one of them the left. Big chance here for Sims. First pitch from Lindsay. Hit high and deep in the air to right center field. Parrott makes the catch in center. Evans is going to tag up. She will score. A sacrifice fly is going to cut the Summertown lead to 4-2. Runner from second advances to third. Now we got runners on the corners here with one out. And now we're going to have a discussion with the home plate umpire. And they're actually going to say that she didn't tag up in time. And that's going to be 2 outs. On the appeal, they say she didn't tag up in time, and we've got 2 outs. So that's a double play there from Summertown. What a turn of events here. Now we got runners on the corners. Next pitch, grounded over to third. The throw over to first is not in time. So an infield single off of the air, and that's going to cut the Summertown lead to 4-2. A lot happening here in this inning. We got runners now on first and third again for Westview as they've cut the lead there. Piper Johnson's grounder to short was bobbled, and the throw over to first was not in time. So it's a 4-2 Summertown lead. Mary Chester due up now. First pitch, grounded over to third. The throw over to first is in time, and that will end the inning. A very interesting top of the fourth inning. Westview gets a run. They cut the Summertown lead to 4-2 as we head to the bottom of the fourth here on the X Sports Network.
Flooring sets the tone throughout your home.
For flooring that makes the right first impression, start by choosing us, Floored by Justin.
A one-stop flooring destination. Our new location stands alone for unequaled customer service and selection. Owner Justin Story's mastery of custom hardwood inlays means every room can have a custom look. Discover how the right choice of hardwood, laminate, carpet, or tile can set the tone in your home. Contact Floored by Justin today.
Whether it's popcorn, biscuits, or automotive, you need the right ingredients to achieve the best results. Heritage Automotive is proud to serve our community with a continually growing inventory. We also help our community grow by contributing to a vibrant economy, which helps build schools. I'm Keith Durham, and I'm the General Manager here at Heritage Automotive, and it's my job to make sure that you're 100% satisfied. Heritage Automotive, your hometown Chevy, Buick, and GMC dealer.
And back here at Summertown, 4-2 is the Lady Eagle lead as we head to the bottom of the fourth. 1-2-3 due up here for the Lady Eagles. Eric Abbott, Meg Parrott, and Katie Beth Gallagher. And Adam, you left to go get your cell phone, and we had a lot happen there.
I watched some of it, AJ. I didn't want to come back in here and interfere, but yeah.
McCall Sims with the bases loaded hit one to center field. That was going to score Alexis Evans, but they said Evans did not tag up in time. She left too early. Home plate umpire made that call, so Summertown wisely got the throw over. They called her out. Next batter got reached on an error that scored a run, and that's where we are right now, 4-2. Abbott, first pitch, fouls it down the left field line, but foul for strike one.
Coach Burleson trying to get Abbott going. You know, she's had a rough outing at the plate so far with 2 strikeouts, you know, but she does have speed, probably helping her kind of get a little confidence back with a good bunt here.
The 0-1 from Sims, and misses away for ball one. Sims through 3 innings has given up 4 runs off 5 hits, pair of walks, 6 strikeouts, sits right now at 77 pitches.
She's really calmed down after that first inning too, AJ.
Abbott, the left-handed hitter, 1 of 3 in the Lady Eagle lineup. Here's a 1-1, and that one misses right off the microphone for about the bajillionth time today. Count goes to 2 balls and 1 strike.
Well, at least Will's camera's been safe the whole game. That's the main thing, right?
Will Pettis is loving these mic pops down there.
Yeah.
Here's a 2-1. Abbott sends this one over to second. The throw over to first is in time, and that will be the first out of the inning.
Nice change up there.
Yeah, Meg Parrott. Good news there for Abbott. She put one in play. Is Meg Parrott, the center fielder, due up 0 for 1, walking a run scored in the first and struck out swinging in the second. 4-2, the Summertown advantage here in the bottom of the fourth inning. Parrott, the 2-hole hitter. And here comes the first pitch from Sims. That one misses low for ball one.
Nice location, but it was just a little bit low.
Wind blowing very hard like it has all game, right out the left field. Parrott, who had a solo homer in the region final against Loretto. Swung and a miss for strike one. She got that one up. The wind was blowing out the left that day too, Adam. She got it up in the jet stream and watched it go over the left center field fence. Here's a 1-1. And that one's on the outside corner for strike two.
That was a nice pitch. Perfect location. You couldn't get any better than that.
Pair it down in the count. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 out, nobody on. And here's the 1-2. Hit into right field. That one's trouble. But the second baseman makes the play. And that will be the second out of the inning. Ranging to her right was Lakin Rogers. We got 2 gone here in the bottom of the 4th.
And like we mentioned earlier, I mean, Westview's got a great game plan now that they're utilizing. Work off the plate. The ball is dying in right field the way the wind's blowing, and force Summertown to have to drive the ball opposite way.
Katie Beth Gallagher, the 3-hole hitter, on for her 3rd at bat, takes ball 1 away. 2 for 2, single and a run score in the 1st, and a 2-out double in the 2nd. On for her 3rd time, trying to reach base for the 3rd time. Here's a 1-0. Hit hard down the right field line, but foul for strike one. Gallagher's had solid contact on both of her at-bats so far. Something that's been hard to come by for both teams. Here's a 1-1. Misses way away for ball 2. Anna Lindsay waiting on deck, who's 1 for 1 in the game with a single and a walk. Here's a 2-1 from Sims. And that one's on the outside corner for strike 2. Count evens up, 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Nobody on for Gallagher. Sims goes to work, the 2-2. Lined in the right field. That one gets down for a base hit. So Gallagher has reached base safely in all 3 at-bats with a pair of singles and a double. Hannah Lindsay comes up with 1 on and 2 outs. Sometimes it's better to be lucky than good, and sometimes you're lucky and good, just like Katie Beth Gallagher is, and she's now 3 for 3.
Or like me at times, AJ, you're not very good and you're not very lucky. That's never a good combination, you know.
Lindsay fakes the bunt, the first pitch, misses away, and on her way to second off defensive indifference is Katie Beth Gallagher. 1 ball, no strikes here to the 4-hole hitter, and Hannah Lindsay has a chance to help her own cause and answer what Westview did in the top half of the inning. Sims, who didn't agree with that call. Here comes the 1-0. That one's off the glove of Brigance. And Gallagher is going to get to third base. She's now just a few feet away from making it a 4-run game once again, or a 3-run game once again. 2 balls, no strikes here to the cleanup hitter for Summertown. Here's a 2-0 from Sims. Swing and a miss for strike 1.
Big cut there by Lindsay. You don't mind her being aggressive up 0-2, but she was awfully late, but she was trying to put it on top of the school there. She's going to have to shorten up here and just get this run in.
Here's a 2-1. Swing and a miss for strike 2. The count evens up at 2 balls and 2 strikes with 2 outs. Runner on third here for the Lady Eagles. Here comes a 2-2 from Sims. Misses away, and the count goes full with 3 balls and 2 strikes.
And as mentioned earlier, if Sims keeps going middle out, Hannah's got to let the ball travel and go to the right side with it. There's room out there. You can't try to pull outside pitches.
Here's a full count offering. Hit into right field. The wind's going to hold that one up, but it goes foul. The count will stay full. There's 2 outs on the runner on third. Just like you mentioned, she let that one travel and hit it high. Thankfully, it went foul. So if it stays in fair territory, more than likely Chester out and right makes the catch. Lindsay steps back in. Here comes another full count offering from Sims. Lined into left field. That's going to get down a base hit. Gallagher scores. It's off the wall. Lindsay on her way to second. A 2-out RBI double. And Summertown extends her lead to 5-2.
You know, and in that situation, Sims has done a great job since the first inning, AJ, like we talked about. You get to 3-2. That is one of the kids on this team. She gets the ball too far in. It catches too much of the plate on a full count pitch. You know, you wonder in that situation if you don't just keep throwing her out, and if you walk her, you walk her. You know, that sets you up first and second. But you can't make that mistake to Lindsay, and she made her pay. So a nice job there by Hannah.
The left fielder, Mackenzie Reynolds in, 1 for 2. RBI single and a flyout. First pitch hit hard but fouled down the left field line for strike 1. Reynolds' single was a perfectly placed swinging bunt that scored a run, and Also hit the ball really hard down the left field line, but it was caught in the bottom of the second inning. Here's the 0-1 from Sims. Lays off the rise ball for ball one. They check with the field umpire, says she didn't go. Just 2 umpires for this game. Again, you'd like to have 3 in a game like this, but a noon game on a Friday, you take what you can get. Here's the 1-1. Misses low and away for ball 2. 2 balls and 1 strike here to the 5-hole hitter in Reynolds. Trying to pick up her second RBI of the game with Hannah Lindsay standing on second. Here's the 2-1. And that one's going to hit her. And now we got 2-1. 2 outs, going to bring up the third baseman in Shelby Davis.
I'm wondering, I think you're fixing to have a pitching change, AJ. It looks like we've got a new one coming in.
And we will have a pitching change for Westview. While that happens, we'll take a break here on the X Sports Network.
The best I remember about the field, John Cook was the one that kind of designed the way it faced.
Back then, most everybody had the skin infield. You know, we had the sand infield.
It was dirt infield. It wasn't grass infield then.
And grass on the infield, we didn't even know what that was. If we played at a field that had grass, we was like amazed.
We played on a dirt infield, so you didn't have grass infield at the time.
Had to drag the whole thing to get it smoothed out, ready to go. It was a little bit more difficult on rainy days to get it ready to play on. We've done everything from spread sawdust to actually burning the field off to try to dry it up.
Rainy games and stuff, we'd burn it off sometimes.
No, you did not pay to get in ball games at that time.
Dirt infield, obviously. Post in the outfield, the foul pole was maybe 5 feet high. You know, you couldn't tell if it was an actual foul ball or fair ball.
I remember the old chain link fences and old wooden posts with holes in them from the woodpeckers and things that got in them.
I do remember Larry going back in center field, making a catch and flipping plumb over the fence.
And back here at Summertown, pitching change made by the Lady Chargers of Westview. Braden Hazelwood comes into the game here for McCall Sims. Sims heads to center, and Allie heads to left. First pitch for Hazelwood. Misses low, ear to ball 1. Shelby Davis, who's 1 for 2 in the game, reached on a fielder's choice with an RBI in the first and a single in the third. Trying to reach base for the third time here. 2-1. Here's the 1-0. That one misses high for ball 2.
And Hazelwood actually pitches a large majority of their games, actually, too, AJ. She's probably their number 1 as far as number of innings pitched on the year.
Down 2-0 here to Davis. Next pitch misses low and in for ball 3. Sims through 3 2/3 innings, gave up 5 runs, 7 hits, 3 walks, including a hit by pitch and 6 strikeouts, and she exited with 99 pitches. Summertown with the chance to add to their lead. Here's the 3-0. That one's in there for strike 1.
You know, and Sims, when she was throwing strikes and really, she was dominant.
She's hard to hit.
She's hard to hit and dominant, but she got in trouble with a walk or two, you know, early, and then I think she got frustrated in that first inning with a couple of bunts and some questionable calls, and you know, it just kind of snowballed on her. It seemed a little bit, AJ. You know, and it's tough. You know, you're playing a long way from home. A lot of people here. So I know it's a frustrating day for that kid, but the game's definitely not over. You're in a good position here. If you can hold Summertown here, Westview has a shot to get back into this game for sure.
Davis fouls off the next pitch. Cal is full at 3 balls and 2 strikes, 2 on, 2 out. Here's a full count offering. Fouled down the left field line. Cal will stay where it is. You got Reynolds standing on first after being hit by the pitch, and you got Hannah Lindsay on second, who delivered a 2-out RBI double.
Your outfield's deep. Lindsay's got good speed. A single through here will score you a run if you're Summertown.
Full count to Davis. And foul back again. That was the 7th pitch of the at-bat. Good battle here between Davis and Hazelwood. Saw Hazelwood warming up a lot early in the game.
I did too.
I thought she was going to be the one that was going to start, just judging by who was warming up.
Yeah.
Here's the full count offering. Hit hard down the left field line, but way foul. That was the 8th pitch of this at bat. Shelby Davis trying to extend the Summertown lead. Every time Westview has scored so far in this game, Summertown has answered in the bottom half of the inning. Westview got 1 in the top of the first. Summertown got 4 in the bottom. So far, Westview with 1 in the fourth and Summertown with 1 in the fourth. So giving Hannah Lindsay as much cushion as they can. Comes another full count offering. Misses away for ball 4, and the bases are now loaded with 2 outs. Anna Burleson, the left-handed hitting first baseman, due up. 0 for 2 in the game.
And it's always tough, AJ, when you walk into the game with 2 on. 2 on, 2 out in the sub-state is not exactly a typical down 3. It's not a perfect situation for a pitcher.
Here's the first pitch to Burleson on the outside corner for strike 1, and especially having to go through a 9-pitch battle for a walk in your to your first at batter. Burleson, who hit into a fielder's choice with an RBI in the first and struck out swinging in the third. Next pitch, swung on and missed for strike 2.
Burleson is having issues right now. Her head's pulling. She's pulling her head off the softball. She's trying to hit it over on top of the school and just keeping that head down and driving it. She's got to give herself a chance here with 2 strikes.
Here's the 0-2 from Hazelwood. Swung on and missed for strike 3, and that will end the inning. But not before Summertown answers in the bottom of the fourth. They lead it 5-2 as we head to the top of the fifth here on the X Sports Network.
What really matters during sports, one of the greatest fears I have during a ball game is that I let my words get the best of me. Words matter, and what we say can't be taken back once it's said. Jesus said in Matthew 5 and verse 37, to let your yes be yes and your no be no. Anything more than that comes from the evil one. If you open your mouth, be sure you check your words through your filter before you let them out. And that message brought to you by your friends at the Leoma Church of Christ.
No matter what it is that you like, take those things, translate it into an academic degree.
It's the best thing probably I've ever done in my life, and my only regret is that I didn't do it sooner.
Getting this degree opened up doors that I didn't even envision would be open.
I'm so happy that I did it, and I think anybody that wants it should go for it. You will not regret it.
Heading back here to Summertown, we go to the top of the fifth inning. Lady Eagles leading Westview in this Class 2A sub-state game, 5-2. Heart of the order, 4, 5, 6. Due up here for the Lady Chargers, Emma Bonner, the designated player, was 0 for 2 in the game. Tap back to the pitcher, Hannah Lindsay in the first, and struck out swinging in the third. Lindsay on for her 5th inning of work, has given up a pair of runs, 4 hits, a walk, 4 strikeouts, sitting right now at 63 pitches. Here's her first offering to Barner. And grounded over to Abbott at short. The throw over to first. In time, 1 pitch, 1 out here in the top of the 5th inning.
And look, I've been on Lindsay all year for her changeup being, in my mind, at least atrocious, AJ. I'm like, I am ripping this kid every night about, look, you've got to. I will tell you, though, AJ, she's thrown the last 3 or 4.
Pretty good.
You could not ask for better locations. Now, I say that, and this one will go over the backstop. But to this point,
oh, that first pitch is swing and a miss for strike 1. Lakin Rogers, the second baseman, due up. The lone left-handed hitter in the Lady Charger lineup. 0 for 2 with a strikeout and a ground out to Abbott in the 3rd inning. Here's the 0-1. And Riseball misses away. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. Nobody on here. Summertown leading at 5-2. Lindsay, who helped her own cause in the bottom of the 4th with a 2-out RBI double. Here's a 1-1. Grounded over to second. Burleson throws to Burleson, and that will be the 2nd out of the inning. And that will bring up the 3rd baseman in Addie Roberts, who's 0 for 2 with a strikeout swinging in the 1st and a ground ball back to Lindsay in the 3rd inning.
And Summertown's defense, and they've done a good job this inning with 2 outs, but they've got to settle down. Okay, they're a really good defense, and you've got to have composure in games like these. They got some bugs out early. That first inning was kind of rough, but you've got a lead here. Lindsay's throwing well. She's keeping the ball down. If this defense can hold up.
The 1-0 from Lindsay hits the outside corner for strike 1. 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 outs.
You got to like your chances if this defense holds up. Yeah. I'll just say that. Lindsay's done a good job of keeping the ball down so far today.
The 1-1. Just misses the outside corner for ball 2. Even with the wind blowing in, if wind blowing out the way it is, as hard as it is, you can keep the ball down and get a lot of ground balls. You like your chances in a game like this. Here's the 2-1. Speaking of ground ball, Lindsay fields it, throws over to first. It is in time. 3 up, 3 down in the top of the 5th inning. Get to the bottom of the 5th. Lady Eagles leading at 5-2 here on the X Sports Network.
Make 2022 the year to refresh your home. And who you gonna call to help? Story & Lee, the Tennessee Valley's largest furniture store. We've stocked our 3 acres of showroom and warehouses full of inventory, and gotta make room for more arriving daily. Living rooms, dining rooms, bedrooms, all from the brands you've told us you love. And it's all ready to be delivered to your home absolutely free. Just try that anywhere else. We are Story & Lee.
Since 1986, Southeast Carriers, Inc. has been a family-owned and operated business in Lawrenceburg, Tennessee. We strive to have updated equipment and technology to make our drivers' job easier. We offer large company pay and benefits with a small company atmosphere. Are you tired of just being a number when you call your current company? Here you will be known on a first-name basis, and all we ask is for you to give us an opportunity to prove that we are different than most trucking companies. For more information, visit southeastcarriers.com.
And back here in Summertown, we go to the bottom of the 5th. Lady Eagles leading Westview in this Class 2A sub-state game 5-2. 8-9-1 due up here for Summertown. Reagan Burleson, the second baseman, to lead things off. 0 for 2 with a pair of strikeouts in the 1st and 3rd inning. Summertown just got a 3 up, 3 down inning from their pitcher in Hannah Lindsay, her second of the game. Talking off air, she's got 7, 8, 9 due up. She goes 3 up, 3 down. She won't have to see the heart of the Charger order till the 7th inning. Burleson steps in for her 3rd at bat, facing Braden Hazelwood for the first time. First pitch hits the outside corner for strike 1.
And if you're Summertown here, you can't cut the offense off. You only have a 3-run lead against a really good softball team. You have got to generate runs here and continue to try to push runs across and not just pack it up here.
Next pitch from Burleson, foul back for strike 2.
And sit on a 3-run lead. I mean, they need to do all they can do to push this lead on out because this team's well capable of getting back into this thing.
Especially with the wind blowing out the left with all your power hitters or right-handed hitters.
Yep.
Don't want to risk that chance.
No.
Comes the 0-2. Just misses outside for ball 1. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
That was a beautiful pitch.
That looked good.
Looked good from here, I'll say that.
I thought she was going to get rung up there, but said it just missed by a hair on the outside. Hazelwood gets the sign back on the rubber, and here comes a 1-2. Foul back off the net, and the count will stay where it is.
Hazelwood's doing a really good job. It looks like she's kind of got some screwball action on her, so a lot of these balls are going in on Summertown's hands. You got to try to get the bat head out front on those pitches if you can.
Comes a 1-2 from Hazelwood. Swing and a miss for strike 1 for the first out of the inning. Now we'll bring up the right fielder and Caitlin Gillum. Gillum with a pair of infield pop-ups.
We've actually, looks like we got a DH coming in here,
okay.
Replacing. 20 for 15. I believe that is Aniston LaRue. If I'm not mistaken, you might want to check that.
Aniston LaRue coming in. She's going to pitch it here for Gillum.
If I'm LaRue, I'm telling Burleson, I don't know if I want to hit. The kid's batting 1,000 for the year. You don't want to mess this up. She's actually got 2 infield, 2 singles, and a home run this year in 3 at bats. She might be the only kid batting 1,000 left in the state. So, you know.
Well, for Summertown's sake, let's hope that continues.
I hope it does. Hopefully she can get us something going here.
First pitch from Hazelwood misses away for ball 1, or she reaches via walk.
Hey, at this point, AJ, we'll take anything. You know, hey, take one for the team if it's close at this point. We need base runners.
Here comes a 1-0 from Hazelwood. Rise ball misses way high for ball 2. Erica Abbott, the shortstop, waiting on deck, who's 0 for 3 in the game so far. And here comes the 2-0 from LaRue. That misses outside for ball 3. 3 balls, no strikes here. LaRue ahead in the count. Hazelwood has faced 2 batters, struck them both out so far. Comes the 3-0, and that one's in there for strike 1. 2 different pitchers between Hazelwood and Sims. Hazelwood, not as much velocity, but control is much better.
She's got really good movement on the ball, too.
Here's a 3-1. Off the bat and hustling in. As the catcher and the first baseman couldn't make the catch, and the count will go full at 3 balls and 2 strikes. Head coach Greg Burleson trying to generate some offense. The heart of the order, 3 through 6, has done all the damage for Summertown so far in the game. Full count offering. Swing and a miss for strike 3, and that will be the second out of the inning. Third strikeout of the game for Hazelwood. Top of the order for Summertown, Erica Abbott, the left-handed hitter. On for her 4th at bat of the game. Pair of strikeouts in the first and second. Grounded out the second in the 4th. Facing Hazelwood here for the first time. Here's the first pitch. And on the outside corner for strike 1. Like you mentioned, Adam, got that late life on it. That ball's tailing away from left-handed hitters and tails in the right-handed hitters.
Most of her pitches have screwball action, working away from lefties and into righties.
Here's the 0-1. Hit high in the air. That could be trouble, Adam. That one's going to fall. No, a great play by the center fielder and McCall Sims. I thought that was going to drop. It didn't. Sims makes the catch. 3 up, 3 down in the bottom of the 5th. Summertown leads 5-2 as we head to the top of the 6th here on the X Sports Network.
Being raised in Tennessee, we believe in the importance of family and community. Creating a positive experience at our family-owned and operated business is one of the ways we share that belief.
Being in an accident can be extremely stressful. When it came time for my repairs, Mashburn's made it easy.
I am lucky to have a wonderful company in my community like Mashburn's Collision Center. It's reassuring to know that I'm in good hands because their work is second to none.
We pride ourselves that the Mashburn name is one of the most trusted in Lawrence County since 1981. Mashburn's Collision Center. Let our family take care of yours.
And back here at Summertown, we go to the top of the 6th inning. Lady Eagles leading Westview in this Class 2A sub-state game 5-2. 7, 8, 9 due up for the Lady Chargers. Alexis Evans will lead things off, 1 for 2. Ground out the short in the second, and a double just inside the right field line in the 4th inning. Coming back into the game is Caitlin Gillen back in right field. First pitch from Hannah Lindsay misses away for ball 1. Lindsay so far through 5 innings of work. 2 runs off 4 hits, a walk, 4 strikeouts, sitting right now at 72 pitches. Here's the 1-0. And that one misses not by much for ball 2.
Lindsay knows better. You got a 7, 8, 9, and you go down 2-0. This is like a record at times. She's got
the 2-0.
3-0.
Misses away for ball 3.
Coach Burleson is ready to choke her, I think, right now from that look on his face, and justifiably so.
Lindsay gets some dirt, rubs it on her pants, gets back on the rubber inside the circle, and here comes a 3-0. Misses low, a 4-pitch walk. We got 1 on and no out. Brings up the catcher, Jilligan Briggins, who's 1 for 2, has reached base twice on an error in the second, single and scored a run in the 4th. Looks like we're going to have a pitch runner come into the game here. Nope, we're going to keep everything as is. Head coach here for Westview is Craig Rogers giving out the signs. Briggins on for her 3rd at bat. And the first pitch from Lindsay. And that one's on the outside corner at the belt for strike 1. You can tell Lindsay's pretty frustrated with herself after that leadoff 4-pitch walk.
She's got to let it go. She's got to concentrate on the issue at hand right here.
And the next pitch is in there for strike 2. No balls, 2 strikes. Working ahead here on the 8-hole hitter for the Lady Chargers. Summertown leading this one 5-2 in this Class 2A sub-state game. Here's the 0-2. Just misses outside. Count will go to 1 ball and 2 strikes. Gallagher was potentially thinking of a pickoff throw down to first base, but Evans wasn't too far off the bag there at first. Here's the 1-2. Foul back into the glove for strike 3, and that will be the first out of the inning. 5th strikeout of the game for Lindsay. That'll bring up the left fielder, Anna Alley, who's 0 for 2 in the game. Hit a soft liner to Abbott at short, and then it hit into a fielder's choice in the 4th. And now we're going have a pitch hitter come into the game here for Westview. Allie, who is a 9-hole hitter. So I got the wrong lineup.
Is this, will the line, will number 1 be after this one, AJ? Do
Yes.
they have 9? This is a big at bat for Lindsay because you want to at least get an out here. Worst case scenario is Sims comes to the plate with only 1 runner on. You know, you've got a 3-run lead, and hopefully that'll be the last time you would have to see that young lady in this softball game. Hopefully.
Emma Simpson is the pitch hitter here for Westview. On with 1 on and 1 out. First pitch from Lindsay. This is high for ball 1. Right-handed hitter Simpson. And for her first at bat of the game, McCall Sims waiting on deck, who's 2 for 3 in the game. Hit the ball hard all 3 at bats. Here's the 1-0 in the dirt for ball 2. Good pick from Gallagher, holding the runner at first base. Big situation here for both teams. Lindsay on the rubber. Here comes the 2-0. That one's in there at the knees on the outside corner for strike 1. 2 balls, 1 strike. Simpson steps back in. Lindsay readies. Here comes the 2-1. Swing and a miss for strike 2. Count evens up at 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Lindsay looked like she had put a little extra oomph on that one. I like to see that.
Couple miles an hour added on that pitch.
Yeah.
Here comes the 2-2. Misses away, and the count goes full with 3 balls and 2 strikes.
And, you know, Lindsay has to, you've got to throw strikes here. You can't put 2 on to one of the best hitters in the state. I'm sorry, but you've got to go here and go at this kid.
Full count offering chopped. Davis at third fields it, throws over to first.
Got her.
It is in time, barely.
Nice play there by Shelby Davis, and maybe even a better stretch
by Anna Burleson.
So definitely big right there for Summertown.
Evans, the runner, advances to second, so 2 outs here for McCall Sims, who is 2 for 3 in the game, a pair of singles. Scored a run in the first, got a single in the second, and flew out deep on what would have been a sacrifice fly. And wisely, Greg Burleson is going to call for the intentional walk.
I tell you what, AJ, I understand the decision, and I'm not saying I wouldn't have made it. However, I also know, too, you've got this wind headed out to left. You've got a really good hitter right here, and you're putting the tying run on base. You really have to have a lot of faith in your catcher and your pitcher right here to make that decision.
And also, you don't want to give McCall a chance to really add to the give the ball in the gap could also be a big rally cry for this team.
Yeah.
And I understand his reasoning to put the hottest hitter on base. First pitch from Lindsay especially when you got a force play now and everywhere in the infield.
It's like I say, though, I just get worried when you put the tying run, bring her to the plate. That's the only thing. I'll never doubt Coach Burleson. He knows he's forgotten 10 times more than I know.
This one's grounded over to Abbott. The throw over to third is in time, and that will end the threat.
That's why he's over there, AJ, and I'm sitting out here with you.
Lady Chargers strand 2 in the top of the 6th. Summertown leads at 5-2. Hopefully their final at bat coming up in the bottom of the 6th. That's next on the X Sports Network.
Like you, our roots are in Lawrence County, providing banking for every stage of life since 1934. Lawrenceburg Federal Bank has been not just your bank, but also your friend, helping you with home loans, consumer and auto loans, and your everyday personal banking needs. Lawrenceburg Federal offers you a warm smile and personal experience, as well as the conveniences of modern-day online banking, mobile banking, and telebanking. Lawrenceburg Federal Bank, your neighbor and friend, located at 118 West Gain Street, next to the courthouse.
Hey friends, this is Barry Doss. Over the past 30 years, Doss Brothers Incorporated has grown from its humble beginnings to working daily to build the future of Lawrence and surrounding counties. From breaking ground to opening day, Doss Brothers has been there every step of the way for many businesses, industries, and homeowners in our community. With nearly 40 years under our belt and the blessing of every new day, we strive to keep building the foundation of our community's tomorrow. We are Doss Brothers, proudly building progress.
Back here at Summertown, we head to the bottom of the 6th inning. 2-3-4 due up for the Lady Eagles as they lead this one 5-2 in this Class 2A sub-state game. Meg Parrott to lead things off, the center fielder, who is 0 for 2 in the game, walked in a run scored in the first, struck out swinging in the second, and hit a pop-up to the second baseman in the 4th inning.
Well, if Summertown wants some insurance runs, AJ, they've got coming to the plate who they need. 2, 3, 4. Gallagher, I believe, is 3 for 3 maybe on the day. Lindsay, I think, is 2 for 2 with a walk. So some insurance would be really great here for Summertown.
First pitch from Hazelwood, and that one is at the belt for strike one. Hazelwood on for her second inning, I guess, second or third inning of work. Through an inning and a third, has given up no hits, no runs, a walk, 3 strikeouts, sitting right now 26 pitches. Here's the 0-1 to Parrott. Hit hard, but way foul down the left field line for strike 2.
That actually hit the side of a FedEx truck cruising down the road.
I've always wanted to see that.
Well, you missed it. I could barely see it that way, AJ, but it did clip it. So.
Yeah. Never safe when you're driving behind a ballpark at any level.
No.
Here's the 0-2. This one is off the handles. Hazelwood's going to make the catch, and that will be the first out of the inning. Brings up Katie Beth Gallagher, 3 for 3. Single and a run scored in the first, double in the second, single and a run scored in the fourth. Trying to reach base for the 4th time. She's hit them to all fields, left, center, and right. It's only got one more place to go. First pitch. Misses in for ball 1.
That looked really good, AJ.
It really did. There's some late life on that one, and I could have swore he's going to ring her up on strike 1. Hazelwood readies, and here comes a 1-0 to Gallagher. Hit high in the air to left, and the left fielder Alley makes the catch, and that will be the second out of the inning.
I'll have to admit, Hazelwood's done a really good job kind of calming Summertown down. She's really not overpowering with velocity, AJ, but she's doing a great job spotting her pitches. She's doing her job. She's kept Westview within striking distance here.
Lindsay on for her 4th at bat, takes strike 1 from Hazelwood on the outside corner. Lindsay is 2 for 2, walked and scored a run in the first, a single in the second, and a 2-out RBI double in the 4th to make it a 5-2 game. Here's the 0-1, hit off the end of the bat. This one's tailing, but staying in fair play, or staying in the ballpark, just out of the reach of the first baseman for strike 2. No balls, 2 strikes to the cleanup hitter here for Summertown and Hannah Lindsay. Trying to keep the inning alive and maybe add one more run before Westview comes up in the top of the 7th inning. They got the heart of the order, 3, 4, and 5. Here's the 0-2 from Hazelwood. Lined hard down the left field, just over the Summertown dugout. That FedEx guy is probably lucky he went driving by then. That would have been a windshield.
Yeah, that might have went in the cab with him.
Ooh, he'd be having nightmares for weeks off of that. Lindsay steps back in. Here comes the 0-2 from Hazelwood. Lined in the right field, but tailing foul, and the count will stay where it is. Good battle here between Lindsay and Hazelwood. Solid contact on the last 2 pitches, but can't keep it in between the lines. Wind continuing to blow really strongly out the left field on this otherwise picture-perfect day. Comes the 1-2 from Hazelwood. Hit high in the air. This one's going to stay in play. The third baseman camps underneath and makes the catch, and that will end the inning. 3 up and 3 down in the bottom of the 6th. Final chance for Westview coming up in the top half of the inning here on the X Sports Network.
McMaster's Home Gallery, where you'll always get a special price every day. Shop their new showroom full of name brand furniture, sofas, recliners, dining and bedroom suites, Serta bedding, lots of tables and chairs just to match your decor. McMaster's Home Gallery also has GE appliances. Stop by on Highway 43 in Loretto or call 853-6140.
Got a dent, a ding, a scratch, or a bent fender? Major or minor, Car Country Collision Center in Leoma can fix you up. Car Country works with all insurance carriers, gives free estimates, can work on foreign and domestic vehicles, and has experience you can trust. They've been in business since 1990. Unfortunately, accidents happen, but you can get your car back on the road with as little hassle as possible with the help of Car Country. Call 931-85.
Back here at Summertown, we go to the top of the 7th inning. Lady Eagles leading Westview in this Class 2A sub-state game 5-2. Last chance here for the Lady Chargers. 3-4-5 due up for Westview. Mary Chester, the right fielder, to lead things off. She's 0 for 3, reached on an error in the first that brought home a run, struck out swinging in the second and grounded out to third in the fourth. 3-hole hitter on for a fourth at bat against Hannah Lindsay. First pitch in the dirt for ball 1. Lindsay through 6 innings, 2 runs off 4 hits, 3 walks, 5 strikeouts. Right now at 89 pitches.
Lindsay's got to stop working from behind. She's got to do what got her here and given her such a good year on the mound. She's got to get ahead, let the defense work.
Here's the 1-0. And she evens up the count with a fastball in the outside corner for strike 1.
You don't want to fall behind, especially against 3-4-5 here, for sure.
Big bats and a hard-blowing wind straight out the left. Here's a 1-1. On the outside corner at the belt for strike 2. Gets ahead in the count. Great crowd showed up here from both Summertown and Westview. Here's the 1-2, just misses outside, and the count evens up at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Plenty of Westview fans making the 3-hour trip, and Summertown students out supporting their fellow Eagles. Here's the 2-2. Off the bat. Burleson keeps it in play. At first, she steps on first, and that will be the first out of the inning. A very wise, smart move by Anna Burleson at first to get the first out.
Well, you know, and that's a tough play, AJ. She had to get that short hop. Yeah. I would have loved if she would took a few steps forward and got it before it took that short hop, but
she had to get it in play, and that's the best way to go.
A great play there to start the inning for sure.
Emma Barner, the designated player, due up now. First pitch in the dirt for ball 1. Barner is 0 for 3. Tap back to the pitcher in the first, struck out swinging in the third, grounded out the short in the 5th. On for the 4th time here today. Here's the 1-0 from Lindsay. Just misses for ball 2. Our home plate umpire, don't know his last name. His first name is Tony. He is working his final game in his career. Good spot to do it. Here's the 2-0, and that one hits the outside corner for strike 1. Been very consistent behind home plate. Squeezed a few here and there, but had some controversial plays at the plate, especially in the first inning. Next pitch hit really hard down the right field line, but foul. And the count evens up at 2 balls and 2 strikes.
You know, AJ, one of the most emotional games you'll see in high school are sub-state games.
Yeah.
Because you're either going to be really happy that you're going to a state tournament, or you know that your season's coming to an end. So I mean, it's 2 ends of a spectrum. So it's definitely emotional game for both teams.
Here's a 2-2, hit hard down the right field line again, but foul, and the count will stay where it is. We definitely saw that in basketball this past year, right across the way in left center there at the Nest. The girls team that played so well all season just ran into one of the better teams in the state in Gibson County at the worst possible time, and you saw that the same with the Loretto girls who had to go play this Westview team. Probably played them as close as anybody had all season, and saw their season in there. This ball's chopped over to Burleson at second, throws over to Burleson at first. That will be the second out of the inning. Final chance here for Westview as the second baseman, Lakin Rogers.
I will tell you, AJ, we've played Loretto 6 times this year. I mean, inter-county rivals, you always want to win. I'm going to tell you something, though. I would love to go watch those kids tonight play, but I don't know if there's enough money in the world that can make me have to drive that far.
It's a good thing I'm getting paid to do that. First pitch.
I just don't, and I love so many of those kids, and they've got a great team. I think they've got a shot, AJ. I'd love to see them pull it out as well, but I just cannot force myself to go that far.
Well, that's why you tune in to the X Sports Network to check out the action on Facebook tonight. Here's the 0-1. It's the outside corner for strike 2. I'll be on the call with that. Kevin Wright's already on his way there, and I will be on my way hopefully here in the next couple minutes. Here comes the 0-2 from Lindsay. Line down the left field line, but foul. Good thing I do get paid. I've made some pretty crazy trips in 17 years working in TV news on the sports side of things.
But I bet you've met a lot of great people.
I've met a lot of great people, a lot of interesting people, and I got a lot of stories that I can't tell on air. Here's the 0-2. Check swing, holds up and misses high and away for ball 1.
Lindsay's 1 strike away from headed to the state tournament with this young Eagles team. A screwball here off has been giving her trouble today. If she could go off the outside of the plate with a screwball, you might get her.
A rise ball's fouled down the left field line again. A good battle here between Rogers and Lindsay. Lindsay trying to get her squad to the state tournament for the 8th time in school history. Back-to-back years. I should say that this will be the 3rd year in a row since there wasn't anything in 2020.
Got her. Oh, my
that
goodness.
That one was on the inside corner.
Ooh.
Umpire said it was off the plate, and the count evens up at 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Coach Burleson was already out of the dugout.
He was already in the
and the
infield
crazy
third.
thing is the third base coach was already walking up the line. Crazy.
Here's the 2-2. Fouled out of play off the net again. And the battle continues. That's now the 7th pitch of the at-bat. Good job here between the left-handed hitting Rogers and Lindsay.
Yeah, Lindsay had been going away, and I really thought she had her on that inside corner, AJ. It looked good.
Here comes another 2-2.
Swing and a miss
for strike 3, and Summertown will be going back to Murfreesboro. They top Westview in this Class 2A sub-state game, 5-2. Hannah Lindsay goes the distance for Summertown, throwing 7 innings, giving up 2 runs off 4 hits, 3 walks, 6 strikeouts on 107 pitches. Good battle here from Westview, who gave Summertown all they can handle, making the 3-hour trip, putting on a great performance. Looking at the final stat line here, Adam Lindsay, Westview 2 runs off 4 hits, no errors. Summertown 5 runs off 7 hits, 4 errors. And they are going back to Murfreesboro for maybe to do a rare feat you don't see in any classifications, and really many states win a state championship in one class, go up the next class next year and win it all there again.
Well, and AJ too, this team lost 5 seniors, and when you say 5 seniors, you're talking kids that are playing division. A lot of those kids are playing D1 softball right now. They were supposed to be down. They were supposed to be young. Maybe a mid-range team. I don't think if anybody would have told you they'd be playing a sub-state game earlier before this season started, I think they might be liars. But I will just say one thing. These kids are amazing. They've played great this whole year. They've grown together. It hasn't always been pretty. And I will say one more thing, AJ, before I'm off air, but, it's easy to win softball games when you're loaded with a lot of the players Summertown had last year, Claire Woods and all those great players. This is by far the best coaching job that Coach Burleson has done to get this young team. Basically, AJ, if you think about it, you lost 5 starters.
All D1 players. Most of them.
Well, you've got 2 or 3 at least.
Yeah.
In addition to that, you lost basically your whole pitching staff. I think Hannah last year threw 7 innings the whole year. Okay,
she's the ace this year.
Well, and Campbell, and Woods last year carried the load the whole year. I don't know if anybody else ever touched the mound, but I think Hannah pitched in a game or 2 in blowout wins.
Yeah.
But you lose your whole pitching staff. You lose 5 of your starters. You move up to 2A.
And you're right back in Murfreesboro.
And you're right back here. You cannot underestimate and not talk about Coach Burleson, what a great job he's done this year with this group. And I know there's been times he's wanted to choke them. But I will tell you this, too.
Coach.
But I will tell you this, there's probably plenty of times that they probably wanted to choke him, too.
Yeah, that's a good relationship. You're doing something right when the players want to choke you and you want to choke your players.
Yes.
It happens to every great team throughout the course of the season. And
I want to take a moment to wish Loretta luck tonight. And I mean that I would really love to go watch them play. If they were within an hour from me, I might ponder it. I've coached a lot of those kids. What a great group of kids. They play well. I wish them the best. Hopefully we can be sending 2 teams to Murfreesboro from Lawrence County. That's big.
We will find out at 5 o'clock tonight. I'll be on the call as the Lady Mustangs take on Huntington on the road. The Loretto baseball team will take on Westview. That will be at 7 o'clock. Both of those games be on the radio and will be on Facebook, audio and video. You can check out your hometown teams on their quest for a state title in Murfreesboro. For Adam Lindsay, this is AJ Good. Have a great afternoon, even better evening here on the X Sports Network.
Going the distance with local sports. Covering the Loretto Mustangs, Summertown Eagles, and Lawrence County Wildcats. Basketball, football, baseball, and more. This is the X Sports Network.